Confirmed, Hailie Deegan is switching teams and said team is switching manufacturers. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. A couple of big stories to get to. First, we just hit 200,000 subscribers on the channel. Again, a huge thank you to each and every one of you. If you're new though, and you haven't hit that subscribe button and you like talking racing, it's never too late to hit that button down below. I greatly appreciate it. First, let's talk about Front Row Motorsports. Today, they confirmed not only their driver lineup, but also their crew chief lineup for 2023. No one really expected the driver lineup to change, but considering the 38 car has seen like 4 different drivers in 4 years, there was always a chance. But no, today Front Row Motorsports confirmed Michael McDowell will once again drive the 34 next season, and Todd Gilliland, ready for his sophomore season, he'll drive the 38 once again. Where there will be changes, though, is atop the 2 pit boxes. We've already discussed Travis Peterson coming over from Roush Fenway Keselowski to be Michael McDowell's new crew chief. Blake Harris is leaving for Hendrick Motorsports. We've already talked about that. Seth Barber, who was the 38 crew chief last season, has been promoted to a director role at Front Row, so now they have a new crew chief for Todd Gilliland. That's now confirmed to be Ryan Burgundy. He was the car chief for Michael McDowell last season. Front Row is one of the more intriguing teams, in my opinion, going into the new year. They won the Daytona 500 with McDowell in 2021, but last year in 2022, they put together a more complete season. Michael McDowell, with 12 top 10s, had a career best year. Meanwhile, rookie Todd Gilliland, who I don't think anyone had any expectations for, still managed to nab a couple of top 10s and actually got the first top 5 for that 38 car since David Gilliland at Talladega in 2013. There was plenty to be excited about watching Front Row Motorsports last season, but I'm cautiously optimistic for 2023. I'd like to see them take another step forward, maybe win a race and also continue the season-long consistency. That'd be great, maybe contend for a playoff spot. I think McDowell's capable of it, but I'm cautiously optimistic because they overhauled their crew chief lineup. I understand, Blake Harris was poached by Hendrick Motorsports, one of the bigger teams. You can't do anything about that. You got to replace him as best you can. But then, you promote Seth Barber, good for him. You bring a new crew chief in. It's just, that's a major change for both of your teams. So I think they'll be decent next year. I hope they'll take another at least small step forward, but I'm cautiously optimistic. There's a lot of turnover going on. What are your predictions for Front Row next season? Leave them down in the comment section below. I'd love to see McDowell, especially, contend for a playoff spot, but more than likely he's going to need to win his way in. Plenty of road courses, a couple of super speedways, actually more super speedways now with Atlanta on the schedule. I'd say he's got more than a fighting chance. Now let's get to the big news. This was actually leaked or first reported a little over a week ago, so we've discussed this a little already, but now it's confirmed by the driver herself. Hailie Deegan will move over to Thor Sport Racing in 2023, and Thor Sport will once again reunite with Ford Performance. She posted the official announcement on her YouTube channel, touring the Thor Sport facility in Ohio for the first time ever, getting sort of loosely fitted for a seat. This is big, big news. First, Thor Sport switching back to Ford after spending the last couple of years with Toyota. That's huge for the Blue Ovals. And it does at least somewhat hurt Toyota. Now, I don't think Toyota and Thor Sport's relationship was ever super tight. Like, Toyota prospects often went to Kyle Busch Motorsports, or going into next year, they got Corey Heim going to Tricon Garage, so Thor Sport never seemed to be the destination for Toyota's top young drivers. You could argue Christian Eckes, but now he's not even racing for Toyota next season. He's going over to McNally. So maybe that relationship was never airtight. I mean, Thor Sport has bounced between Toyota and Ford in the past. This is just the latest transition. It's easier to switch manufacturers in trucks than probably any other NASCAR series, since every team is using the exact same Ilmor engines, whether you're a Ford, Chevy, or Toyota. All you're really replacing are the body panels. So I guess maybe Cup is a little easier now that they're all running a spec chassis. I don't know. Trucks, point is, Thor Sport's not going to miss a beat next year switching from Toyota back to Ford. They will continue to be championship contenders. So let's talk about what this means for Hailie Deegan. I know what some of y'all are probably thinking, Eric, why are we dedicating so much time to a driver with all of 3 top 10s in 2 full truck series seasons? 0 top 5s, no wins, of course. And, that's a fair point. Hailie Deegan's performance the last couple years has not been notable. That's just the truth. But What's also true is that she is, on paper at least, the most popular driver in that series. She just won the most popular driver vote for the second year in a row, whatever stock you put in that. She also has more Instagram or TikTok followers than nearly the entire NASCAR Cup Garage combined. That's only a slight exaggeration. So she's a star. Her brand is tailored to some very specific demographics, some of which NASCAR desperately is trying to reach more of. So she is noteworthy, even though the on-track success is still lagging behind. But that's the point. Now that Hailie Deegan is racing for arguably the best team in the Craftsman Truck Series, the on-track results could begin to pick up significantly. And if Hailie Deegan starts winning or contending regularly and starts to march her way through the NASCAR ranks, she could still be a future superstar on the biggest stock car racing stage. The hype train has run out a little. 3 or 4 years ago when she was winning K&N races, I think many saw potential Cup Series driver potential there. She ran okay in ARCA but never won a race, and the last 2 years in trucks haven't been great. So yes, the hype train has run out of much of its steam, but this move to ThorSport could be the jumpstart she needs. Now, many, including myself, were kind of hoping she would get an Xfinity ride. She ran well in her first ever Xfinity start a few weeks ago at Las Vegas. I was hoping we'd get to see more of that. I think she'd be able to learn and develop more as a stock car driver in that series than in trucks, where it's sometimes a little rougher, especially once you get outside the top 10. But she's with ThorSport now, and in my opinion, expectations have never been higher. Every year, ThorSport has 1 or 2 trucks in the championship race. They've won 2 of the last 4 championships. Hailie Deegan driving that lucky number 13 truck is going to be expected to contend. Making the playoffs is a baseline expectation. Winning a race is a baseline expectation. Anything short of a championship 4 appearance is at least a slight disappointment if you're driving a ThorSport truck. At least those are the standard expectations I think the team and us fans always apply. With Hailie Deegan behind the wheel next year and knowing what she did, or more importantly what she didn't do for David Gilliland Racing the last 2 seasons, maybe the expectations change a little bit. She's never finished inside the top 5 yet. So while I'd like to say, hey, she's got to win a race or 2 next year, I'm not sure that's realistic. She's got to make the playoffs. Only 10 trucks make the playoffs each season, and Deegan has not yet cracked the top 15 in points. So I want to see her do well. I'm a Hailie Deegan fan. The couple times I've gotten to talk to her, she's been very outgoing, very generous with her time. Personally, as someone who makes their living in this industry, NASCAR needs a superstar, and Hailie Deegan, I think, has that potential if the on-track results begin to catch up. So I do want to see her do well. And ThorSport, I think, gives her the best opportunity out of any truck series team in existence. I'd like to see her win a race next year. I'm not sure that's realistic. More than anything, though, we need to see serious improvement. Prove the skeptics wrong. This is the best opportunity she's had in the last 3 years. Leave your predictions down in the comment section below. I want to see Hailie Deegan do well next season. I think she still has potential, but like I keep saying, I think the pressure on her shoulders is going to be about as great as it's ever been. Hopefully she can live up to the occasion. But thanks for watching, y'all. That's going to do it for this episode. Once again, if you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate the support. We've got some fun videos in the works for next week, I believe. Make sure you don't miss them. As always, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. Thank you all so much for your very generous support of the show. I will see you again very, very soon. Have a great rest of your afternoon, folks.